Hello and welcome to another 5K tennis discussion.
It is Sunday, June the 9th, 2019, and we are here for show number 90. Let's go. I'm ready for this one for sure. How about you, Carla?
I am Nadal 1, so I can't be, I'm happy.
Oh, she's happy as
Number
a clam.
18.
She's happy as a clam.
Woo!
Let's go. The French Open has now wrapped up for 2019. By the way, we had an incredibly great time. I think this was our fourth major that we covered, spanning from last year, and this one by far was the best, at least doing this. It was incredible.
For me, it was the best because Nadal won, of course.
The preparation for grass season begins now. Just saying. Season is still wide open, so we're going to wrap up the French Open show. By the way, I kind of feel like a tank ran over my face. Carla and I... we've been on the tennis court since early this morning and just basically got home and still have to feed the 5 kids. So if we're a little weary or my eyes might be a little red because half the day I wore sunglasses, half not. Anyway, if we're a little fatigued, that's why. All right?
Probably how TM feels.
Well, I think TM had a respectable run, and we'll talk about that.
He did.
We'll
Most
talk about
definitely,
that
I
as well.
doubted him, but he did.
Thank goodness, though, it was a nice day in Paris. So that way, after the first and second set, within the Nadal TM match was completed, after it wrapped itself up in the third and fourth sets relatively quickly, hopefully they had somewhere to go after that to get a couple more hours of good fun. The first 2 sets were wonderful. Really good tennis. And we'll get into the match, but I think Nadal should have won it in straight sets. He coughed up that iffy break at, 4-4 or 5-5 in the second set. But otherwise, Nadal basically steamrolled TM, but he was obviously fatigued, right?
Fatigue or just that Nadal made him run way too much. Those angles he had today were amazing, and it seemed to me like TM was doing more of the running than Nadal.
We're going to break it down and talk about it, and we look forward to having a good conversation with all of you about it as well. Also, a conversation about the lead up to Wimbledon, because again, grass season starts basically tomorrow. There's tournaments in Stuttgart. I think there's a couple more, Nature Valley Classic elsewhere, I think, and we'll get to that. Here's how it's going to go down today. At first, we're going to discuss a few topics, and Carla actually has all of them. We're going to discuss the match, the men's final. We're going to discuss as well a few bets that are already on paper for the grass court tournaments and grass court season. As well, I have a bet that I'm willing to announce to all of you. So if anyone wants to take me up on my bet, stay tuned for that. We will also do a preview of how we're going to do our grass court season, so you all know. And then we're going to close out the French Open, close out the show, and take a couple days off.
Yes.
Cool?
Well, not really take days off, but
Well, days off from doing this.
From the show, yes.
Yeah, we have to do it. We'll discuss it because we have it written in towards the end. All right. By the way, congratulations to Casper, aka Dedseville, for his.
He must be studying for his test because I haven't heard from him. I know he has a test, so I know school's very important, more important than anything. It determines your future, so I'm sure that he's been busy studying.
Yeah, and bravo. It should be. But officially, Dedseville, aka Casper, has won the fantasy team challenge that we did. So Casper, you know the drill. You've already.
I'll send you an email, Casper. I'll send you an email tonight asking you what you would like. Would you like strings,
shirt,
or
whatever,
tennis shirt, or YTEX apparel?
Yeah, he knows the drill. So congratulations, and everyone. He's won the last 3 in a row, so he's beginning to hold all the slams at this point, if you know what I mean. So I think he's the guy that we want to try to beat and put our heads together and figure out a way to dethrone this guy moving into grass. But I don't plan to lose personally. I don't think Carla plans to lose either. Let's get right into your topics, Carla, because if we waste a bunch of time, then I think you have done... Carla's written like all day today, and this is rare because we get a lot.
Not really. I mean, I don't write as much as him because usually on the top of my head I could do more.
No, usually she never does much of any writing at all, and she just reacts to it, and we get hounded in a good way, positive criticism, constructive.
Guys, I don't mind if you send a message about maybe him not rambling. He has to ramble. That he explains things, so that's his way of being. I'm more quiet. I'm usually try to get to the point and don't really go further than that. So, I mean, I do appreciate the comments, but let's do it in a nice way.
Yeah, and no offense taken in a sense, but Carla, when we first started the show, the first show is on the playlist. 5K tennis news episodes. We didn't break them down at that point, but I had to drag her outside on the porch to talk about tennis. And when I put the camera up, she was like trying to run away, you know. So she's getting better, but we do things to try to get her to lighten up a little bit. She's a tough girl, and we've been on the court all day. So I think she should be speaking freely today, so we wish her the best of luck. But I know one thing, she did right all day long as I did, right next to me. At least we would go teach a lesson, come home, write for an hour, go teach another lesson, come home, write for an hour, go teach another lesson, come home, feed the kids, take them all back to the court, come back home, finish writing type deal. So it's been a long day, but she was with me every step of the way. So I'm looking forward to her topics, and I think she has 4 or 5 of them.
Five of them?
4 or 5, I think.
Yes. Well, the first one is going to be Serena Williams. Serena Williams, as we know, will not play. I'm not sure if you guys heard, but she will not play, according to her coach, a warm-up tournament before Wimbledon. Will this affect her? Well, I mean, we know that her knee has been injured. She hasn't played many warm-up tournaments before the French Open. Serena really, since 2011, has not played any warm-up tournaments or any event to warm her up for Wimbledon. She usually trains in Florida, where her home is, West Palm Beach. We know she's 37 years old. Will this affect her? Anytime Serena did not join an event, a pre-warm-up tournament, she won Wimbledon 2012, 2015, 2016. In 2012, she won the singles and the doubles. In 2016, she won the singles and the doubles. And as we know, last year, she came back from motherhood and was a finalist and got defeated by Angelique Kerber. So do we think that at her age, without any warm-up tournaments, can she win Wimbledon? We know she's nursing her knee. I think for her, it's smart. She's 37 years old. Why play these smaller events? There's only 3 weeks of grass, and a lot of them are 250s or 500 for guys. And I don't even think there's any premier for the women, so there's smaller tournaments. For me, I say it's a smart thing. She's won Wimbledon before. Why show your opponents your weakness? Let them guess, because they're no longer scared of her. What do you think, Justin?
I'm in one of those moods today where I'm going to speak freely, and I'm not going to check anything, but I agree 1,000,000% of every word that Carla just said. I was looking for a point to take a short ball and attack, but I couldn't. 37 years old, 23 majors. Did I say 27? Did I say 37?
23. She's 37 years old.
She's 37 years old,
yes.
Has 23 majors. Does anyone actually understand how many majors that is? I mean, wow, I know. It's almost incomprehensible.
Let's see, Roger Federer has 20.
And that's almost incomprehensible. And 18 and 15 and so on. Even 2 is incomprehensible.
Yes.
Even 2. Anyway, that's not where I'm going with that. 37 years of age, the body changes after being a mother. Granted, I'm not a mother, but I'm a father of 5 kids, right?
Yes, I can tell you that your body does change. You don't recover 100. As you get older and have kids at an older age, you do not recover the same.
So I'm gonna try to do. I didn't even think about this, but I'm gonna try to do a role play of Carla. Here comes first kid, still hitting the ball. 1 kid, we're good. Second kid, still hitting the ball. Third kid, working a little harder.
No, I was still fine. I was 30. So
Fourth kid, fine. Working a little harder.
I was fine with Gabby.
Working a little harder. Fifth kid, now I destroy. I'm just kidding. She does well.
Thank you.
She does really well.
It is tougher on the body, especially as you're an older woman. Not that 30s, late 30s is old, but for a professional athlete, that is considered old. Yes.
Yeah, and let's be real. You're 37. The body doesn't recuperate as quickly. her clock is ticking, backwards in a sense, and it's counting down in a sense, and quickly. So she has a couple more opportunities. I think she may have 6 or 7 more opportunities to tie and surpass Margaret Court.
I give her this year and next year, because she will be 38, I think, this year. So I give her this year and next year, and that's it. So she'll have like 6 more opportunities.
So she has an opportunity at Wimbledon, then the U.S., and she squandered a couple of those. Who did she lose to?
She
Panetta?
lost to Kerber last year at Wimbledon.
You remember when she squandered the U.S. Open's semifinal against
She
Panetta?
lost to Vinci.
Roberta Vinci.
Yes.
That
could have been her.
That one hurt.
I know that one hurt.
So when Serena lost to Vinci, that hurt. That was like the worst loss. That one hurt.
I still think she has a good opportunity. I mean, I'm guessing for me that I think Serena, if she does tie Margaret Court, I think she'll retire. I don't think she'll even try to pass her.
Yeah, now I would be worried if Serena didn't have a gentle but conditioned and disciplined light workout regimen and on-court training, maybe not moving a lot, still absorbing or healing the knee. So I would be more worried about how free-flowing her training regimen will be. Not necessarily how many matches she plays at all, but how is her training and conditioning going to be moving into Wimbledon. Even if she doesn't play a match until prior to Wimbledon, I think she'll be fine.
How many players really play matches before Wimbledon? I think they play maybe one tournament. I think Federer plays one, if that. Djokovic, maybe.
A lot of it depends on sponsors and obligations to tournament count. In other words, you play with a Wilson racket. I just threw that name up there. Then they, you need to play, or you need to be at 20 tournaments as agreed, and you need to, wear this if you're.
But they're older and they're legends. They're about to be legends.
Yeah, well, yes. What I'm saying is as you get super max athlete, you get super max treatment. So yes, you can begin to pick and choose a little bit. But those that play these warm up tournaments, 9 times out of 10 need to pay rent.
Yeah, I mean, players like Tsitsipas are still playing these tournaments. Absolutely.
Well, players like Tsitsipas are still very young.
And they're trying to make a name for themselves, so they're going to play these tournaments.
They're building brand. Absolutely. They're building brand. They're building brand. They're building brand. If you're an athlete, the brand is you. You get your logo. You get the RF, or you get the bull, or you get whoever, Jordan Jumpman.
I think for Serena Williams, the grass tournament is going to help her. It's not like clay. It slows down your stroke. It slows down the impact of the ball. And grass is pretty quick. She's got one of the best serves. It's going to help her if she's serving well. It's pretty much serve +1, correct?
Serve +1.
Serve +1, and that's it. You're not really going to get into these long, grinding rallies like you do in clay. Nobody's going to slide. If you can volley, you're going to put the ball away. And this helps her.
Yeah, when you said +1, that was exactly, I was with you. I was like riding the wave of what you were saying. I agree 1,000,000%. And I usually look for a way to attack here, but I can't. Perfectly said. I have to stand mute there. I have nothing to add to that.
This Grand Slam is for people that have good serves and they're flat hitters and they can put the ball away. Somebody like Pliskova is going to do well. Someone like Serena is going to do well. Someone like Osaka is going to do well.
Yeah, and just in case there's a cloud, like what does she mean serve +1? That just means she serves with an offensive mind. She's getting an easy ball back, and she's with one extra shot, she's ending the point.
Correct.
Anyway. All right, so great topic, by the way. That was rocking. I was with you. She just told me something about Serena, and I said, okay, I'm ready. So anyway, I was with you. Total agreement. Next subject. I think you told me Barty. That's all I have.
Barty. I was hearing this journalist from New York Times, Christopher Clary. They asked him, I think that's his name, Clary? Yes. They asked him, what did you think of Ashley Barty's win? She won the French Open, and he said, well, Ashley Barty did not face a top 10 player to win the French Open. Would have this been the same result if she faced a top 10 player? And he said he thinks she would have felt more pressure.
Who asked that question?
It was the commentators on Tennis Channel. They asked this I'm sure a lot of viewers have seen him because I've had links sent about his articles to me on YouTube. Christopher Clary, he's a big journalist from New York Times. And they asked him, do you think Ashley Barty would have won the French Open if she would have faced top 10 players? And I think he said he probably doesn't think it would have been the same result. Yes, she's a great champion, but she didn't face...
Who said that? Someone on the Tennis Channel said that?
He's a journalist.
Okay, all right.
And he said if she would have faced a top 10 player, perhaps it would have been different. Well,
I disagree.
Me too. I looked at her draw. So first round, she did face Jessica Pegula, which was unseeded in the tournament. She's
a U.S. player.
U.S. player, ranked 72 in the world. Well, then she faces a tough opponent. Second round, Danielle Collins from the USA, ranked
another U.S. player,
36 in the world.
Okay.
Then she gets to Andrea Petkovic, who's German, ranked 69 in the world. Gets through her. Then meets fourth round Sophia Kenin, which she was supposed to meet Serena, but Serena Williams loses to Sophia Kenin, who's ranked 35 in the world.
Yeah.
Then she gets Madison Keys, who's ranked 14 in the world, and goes through her. Anisimova, who she was supposed to face Halep instead, and it takes 3 sets to beat her. And as we know, Vondrousova in the finals, who is ranked 38, but now is going to be ranked in the top 20, I think 16, and goes through her. It's not her fault that she didn't face any top 10 player. We had Osaka, who went down to it was Sienakova. She went down to Sienakova.
Yep.
She was supposed to meet Serena.
Great memory.
Serena loses to Sophia Kenin. And then we have Kvitova, who was injured on the other side of the draw, so she didn't get to play, so we put a lucky loser in there.
By the way,
not her fault at all.
Speaking about the Kvitova withdrawal, that's the only reason why I didn't beat Casper and fantasy team, because of Kvitova pulling out. Anyway, real quickly.
She was the best clay courter here. Honestly, I think if she would have met Serena, if she would have met Osaka, if she would have met Kvitova, if she would have met Halep, she would have still won this tournament.
Based upon watching Barty play in this tournament, the best player in the tournament won.
The best, exactly. She was a smarter player.
Yeah.
She could have lost against Anisimova, and she kept her cool. You didn't see the emotions. She deserved to win this French Open. This French Open was not like Schiavone beating Stosur when Stosur beats the tougher player before that, which I think was Serena. No, she earned this.
My quick thoughts on it, I agree once again. I'm kind of shocked. Some of which I'm kind of borderline with in a sense, but not really at all. So 98%, I totally agree. What I think is maybe 2% of it is her road to the final. I think could have been tougher. I'm not saying it wasn't tough. It was extremely difficult.
Well, they lost before they got to meet her.
We can't forget the first round player, Pegula, the American player. I can't honestly say I've seen this individual play. I wish the best for her, obviously. But her second round opponent, Danielle Collins, we can't forget, made a semifinal of the U.S. Open or Australian? What did she make, a quarterfinal?
She didn't make a semifinal.
Can you check out Danielle Collins? Just type her name in Wikipedia and go to best, and it'll tell you best results. And I thought she made the quarterfinals.
She beat Venus
of
at Miami
major.
Open, and
was it Miami? It was,
yes.
So Miami's considered one of the 5th or 6th majors if there was one. It was a big tournament though.
She lost in the semifinals to Petra Kvitova.
Where?
At the Australian Open.
Told you, knowledge drop. So Danielle Collins, again, she's a tough fighter. I don't care for her court conduct a lot, but she's been through a lot in terms of being told she's not good enough to play at the University of Florida. Goes to the University of Virginia, wins 2 national champions there single-handedly, and fought her way into the semifinal of the Australian Open. So I can't say that's a pushover, and she's a fighter. Collins is. Petkovic has been around a while. Tricky, veteran. She can beat anybody in all of tennis on any given day. Then Sophia Kenin, who beat Serena, by the way, and Sophia Kenin has beaten Andreescu, as we all know, since everybody likes to jump on the Andreescu bandwagon all the time. I still don't get that one. But Kenin's equally as good. The Madison Keys, didn't Madison Keys make a French Open final against Sloane Stephens, or was that the U.S. Open?
No, she made a U.S. Open final.
So Keys has been on a downward slope, but not extremely downward, but compared to Barty, who would be her junior in a sense of how long they've been around.
Well, I mean, Barty's young still.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah. Madison Keys,
older.
Barty is Madison Keys' junior. She's younger.
By a couple years.
But a couple years makes a lot of difference. We've talked about this with her next opponent, Anisimova, and how she's 17, and in 2 years, I think she'll be as good as or will go as deep in Wimbledon as Marketa Vondrousova, right? I just don't think Anisimova's there yet. You're hot?
Yes, very hot.
I turned the AC on today.
Okay.
I mean, I can go turn it down further.
No, it's okay.
But 5 USA players, that doesn't, it's not like the men's side here. These are good players.
Yes,
is all I'm
players.
getting at.
Yes.
It could have been tougher, yes.
Yes, it could have been, but they lost early.
ACL.
For a journalist to say that, it would have been a different story had she faced a top 10 seed. I mean, if you're not a tennis player and you're not there, I don't think you should even say that. How would you know? I mean, I hear so many people say Djokovic had an easy tournament. Nadal had an easy tournament. How do you guys know? You don't play tennis. Are you out there with the pressure that these guys feel?
Well, maybe he has.
Any given day, he hasn't. I looked at him. At any given day, number one player could lose to a 1,000 player. I just look. I mean, he hasn't played tennis. Maybe pitter-patting the ball. Just saying.
She busted out a pitter-pat.
He should stick to the journalism. Keep writing.
Yeah, that kind of made me laugh a little bit. But look, let's be real. Okay, so you ask, so this journalist, no disrespect.
They should have asked somebody like a tennis player, like a real tennis player.
Let's look at the other side of the draw. You had a 19-year-old unseeded player make the final. So where's the argument there? So will we have said the same thing if Vondrousova would have made it? So Vondrousova played Yafan Wang, who's a decent player, then Potapova. Then she played Saras Navarro.
Potapova took out Kerber, correct?
Then Potapova took out. Oh man, yes.
So that's not her fault. She took out Kerber. So.
Then furthermore, Vondrousova took out Savitsova, who's a feisty player, but I'm not saying she's the best thing since sliced bread. And then she took out Martic in an epic match, by the way.
Which Martic took out Pliskova. Not her fault that Pliskova didn't make it.
Martic, one of the top 3 matches of this entire tournament, in my opinion, is the Martic-Vondrousova match. It just was. And then she had Konta, which no disrespect to Konta, but had never prior to this tournament ever made past the first round of the French. So I think you could say that both of them were lucky in a sense, but I think they still both would have made the final, whoever they would have faced, because
And you have to have some luck to win some of these slams.
Yeah,
Let's be real here.
It happens. Players not very good on the global stage, at least on paper, beat the likes of Kerber and Pliskova. Not their fault.
Hey, look what happened to Djokovic last year. Cecchinato, who now? I mean, come on.
All right, next topic. What you got? So we talked about Serena. You talked
I was going to talk about
Barty.
Thiem, but I'm going to leave that later on because we're going to talk about the match. So I'll go into what were the top 3 matches of the tournament. What do you guys think the top 3 matches of the tournament? For me, number 3 would be Osaka versus Azarenka. I thought that was a decent match. I tried to look at what was really a good women's match, and I think out of all the matches we had, I think Osaka and Azarenka, they went to 3 sets, was the best match. You had a number 1 player against a former number 1 player. And, it was a close match. Either one could have won. So I thought that was a good match. Number 2 to me was Wawrinka against Dimitrov. Both one-handers. They battled. The scores were very tight. 7-6, 6-7. I think it was 3 sets. 7-6, 7-6, 7-6. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then the number 1 match to me, the best match out of the whole French Open, was Wawrinka and Tsitsipas. 5-setter, where the guys hugged at the end. They battled it like warriors. Best match, hands down, better than the Australian Open.
Oh man, you put me on the spot with that one. That was something I would like to. All right, I'll go with this. Just off the top, I didn't think about this one. So, in third place, I'm going to give my third top match, or my top 3. This is in third place. The bronze medal would be Wawrinka versus Federer. Yes, I think Federer should have won in 3 sets, but it was beautiful to watch those two play.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit boring.
Number 2, I'm going to give to Petra Martic and Marketa Vondrousova.
Okay.
Even though it was straight sets, nothing,
I think I can't disagree with you.
But it was for me, it was 2 fine young ladies playing very good tennis. That's all I have to say there. Number 1 would be Wawrinka versus Tsitsipas. I thought that match...
The best match of the year, honestly.
Yeah, I thought that match right there could very well have been the best match of the year, so I'll give that the prize.
Yes.
Great question, though.
Yes.
All right. Is that it for your topic at this point?
No, it's not. Another topic I had was a viewer who contacted me, Arthur Atsuka. He contacted
What's the
me.
name?
Arthur Atsuka.
Arthur Atsuka. Okay.
Atsuka. He contacted me through Facebook Messenger, and he was interested in a topic, and I'm not going to give the answer. I want you guys maybe to think about it and answer.
Oh, so you're asking, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I said, well, I can give my opinion about this, but let's see what the viewers say.
Can I give my opinion?
Sure. He said, I thought Ashley Barty was fun and interesting to win the French Open. She seems very modest and not in your face like some players. My question is, how come there are many winners of the U.S. Open from the U.S., but hardly anyone has won from their other country slam? Not many from Australia won the Australian Open, or people from France, the French Open, or folks from England, Wimbledon. Why is that? Do you think Barty will win her country slam? And then he says, we do a great show. So.
All right, first of all, Arthur Atsuka, much love. Welcome to have you here. That's a good question, but I have to say that it doesn't make a lot of sense in a way, and respectively. Can you tell me how many majors that Margaret Court has won from Australia? Didn't she win 11 French Opens? And didn't Rafael Nadal...
How many Australians did she win?
I mean, not French Opens, Australians. Thank you.
She won 11?
Not French. Margaret Court, I think, won 11. Check that out. Margaret Court majors. I think Margaret Court, who Serena's trying to surpass, is Australian, and I think she won 11 Australian Opens, which I think Rafael Nadal won his 12th French Open today, which would have beaten that with...
he did pass that, yes.
So it was a record that he broke, and it was her record. So first of all, there's one Australian that won.
Yes, she won 11.
Did Leighton Hewitt or Patrick Rafter ever win?
Leighton Hewitt never won Australian Open.
Did Pat Rafter?
No, he won U.S. Open.
Okay, Margaret Court won 11. What about Rod Laver? So, I mean, he's got a court name.
But those are like way back then. We're talking about players now.
Okay.
Who now has won Australian that's won the Australian Open? Who? Who was the last Australian?
Most recent Australian?
There is none.
But what? Like they've won it.
I think he's talking about now.
Okay. Well, now. Okay. Better question. But stop for a second though. The reason why I think it's also a little bit of an illogical question is because there's 4 major tournaments a year. We know where they are: the United States, Great Britain, France, and Australia, respectively. And there's 128 players that play in these very rare tournaments 4 times a year. That's not very many of them. So the chances of having one solid player at the right point in time to win that one tournament on their own soil when there's 128 people around, highly difficult thing to achieve. Andy Murray has done it in Britain.
So Roy Emerson was the last person.
What about the French? Did Yannick Noah win a French Open?
1983.
Is that the last Frenchman that won the French?
Yes.
The U.S. Open.
Mary
Andy
Pierce
Roddick.
won it.
And Serena's won it a trazillion times. And then you have Australian, and that you already answered that, right?
Yes, it's been a long time.
So yeah, that is a good.
And I think the biggest drought. Well, he says that Andy Murray is. I told him it's from Scotland, but it's considered now.
I mean, I think we won't get into politics on the show, but it's on the same island. I mean, I'm not. Look, I know nothing about all that. They're on the same island. I mean, geez, he wears a British
Tim
flag.
Henman was British, correct? He was from England, correct?
It's the same island. It's like a northern section.
So where's Ireland then?
Ireland's offshore on an island.
Okay, so you consider Scotland?
Scotland is in essence Great Britain, less the politics, and I don't know all that. But look, didn't they just knight Andy Murray as like in the?
Of course they're gonna knight him.
Didn't they knight him? And I think they did it at like the Queen's Palace in London somewhere. So I mean, he got to ride out with the Queen. That pretty much makes him British.
Okay.
Anyway, moving forward. I don't even care about all that. I'm just saying he won it and he's British.
Oh yeah, he'd be considered British, correct? Yes. Okay. Even though he's from Scotland, but okay.
Same difference. If it was Ireland, it would be a big difference, but not Scotland. Scotland, all right, it's kind of like being from Alabama.
I mean, it is a good question. I think that most of these players feel pressure. Like when Stosur plays at the Australian, she feels pressure and loses in the first rounds. Azarenka had a chance.
Sam Stosur never made an Australian semi?
No.
Check that.
I'm sure.
Best result, Samantha Stosur. I think she made a semi back in the day. Like when around the same time she played Schiavone in the French final, I thought she made a semi there. I may be dead wrong. But they're involved. There has to be a little bit of lightning strike luck in that sense because there's 128 people in
Fourth round is her furthest that she's
round.
gone.
Okay, so not okay. I get that. But there has to be a little bit of luck. There's one person that plays an individual sport, one against the other, and they have to go through.
But don't you think they feel more pressure when they play in their country? Of course, that's probably your answer right there. They feel a lot more pressure. Maybe the Americans don't because, I don't know.
Can I ask you a question?
When's the last American guy to win?
Here, let me ask you
We haven't had any.
Can I ask you a hypothetical question? If they had a major in Switzerland, would have Roger Federer have won it?
Of course.
So I think there's a little bit of luck.
Yeah,
If they had a major in Spain, would Rafael Nadal have won
sure
it?
He would.
So
these guys are different.
It's not. What I'm getting at is there's people that play tennis all over the world and and hundreds of different countries all over the world, and there's only majors in 4 of them, with everyone trying to compete. There is some lightning strike luck that you happen to be born
of course.
in a country in which there's hundreds of countries where people play and they all flock to 4 tournaments.
But don't you think people that are British have the advantage because they train in grass?
Somewhat. But how is the training regimen? How are the students? If they're like American players these days, they're relatively subpar.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So
right,
great topic. I like the question.
Maybe the viewers can answer that.
But I think agree or disagree. Poll question. Agree or disagree. First of all, it's a great question. Welcome, Arthur. Wow, much love. Vamos. But to answer the question, here's the question we will ask you. Does it have anything to do with luck at all that one of the best players in the world, which it takes to win a major, is born in the same country in which they win a major? I think there is some lightning strikes,
sure. Yes,
a special person was born on a special day, which we all are special. Everyone that breathes is special. I'm just saying for tennis.
I don't know. I feel pretty special that
everyone is special.
Roger Federer is born on my day because I'm 2 years older than him.
Everyone is special. Great question, but does it have anything to do with luck that someone from a country was just born at the right time and they won a major? Or
probably, you're right.
I mean, if there was a major in Switzerland or Spain, then surely Federer and Nadal would have won one. If there was a major in Serbia, would Djokovic have won one?
Definitely, yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Agree.
All right, let's jump into the Nadal Thiem.
And this is where my topic comes
match.
up.
Okay, so we know what happened.
Obviously, Nadal has the 12th French Open. Bravo. 12 French Opens. Can you believe that? That's more than Djokovic has won Australians. That's more than Federer has won Wimbledons. Would Thiem, if he would have rested one more day, would the match been different?
Wait a minute, repeat that?
If Thiem would have had one more rest day to play the finals against Nadal, would have made a difference.
I don't think so.
I saw the match.
I don't think so.
And I think Nadal is the best clay courter. He is the king of clay. I know they call Thiem the prince of clay, but he doesn't even come close to Nadal. What Nadal did today, the angles that he hit, the way he had Thiem running, unbelievable. I don't think if we would have given the guy a month's rest, it would have made a difference.
Yeah.
It would not have made a difference today.
It really wouldn't. That's a great question, by the way. I had to sit there and kind of ponder
the first
that
set,
for a second.
Well, we know that Nadal won the match 6-3, 5-7, 6-1, 6-1. We watched the first set.
That's a good question.
No, it would have made a difference.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me gather my thoughts here for a second. Did not Thiem have... I know he played 5 sets.
He played 4 days in a row.
But didn't he play, kind of... When you play at, say, a Masters 1000, you play matches every day.
Yes.
Unless you have a bye in the first. And you play every day throughout that week and then whatever. Okay, but didn't he play like a couple of sets on one day and a couple of sets on the other day?
Correct, with Djokovic, yes.
And if you are a $1 million athlete, which he is at this point, just saying... and you train like I know he trained because I have watched him train, and he trains
He's intense.
very rigorously. I don't think it had a lot to do. I think Nadal was fresher, sure, but I think he was perfectly capable of calling himself 100% healthy that day.
And let's be real, Nadal knows Thiem's game really well. He knows his game. He knows what to do.
The Thiem, again, and we've discussed this before, and we won't get into it. It hits a one-handed backhand. That's not an excuse, but the backhand does begin to break down. Your confidence gets shaken at times. If you're always striking the ball up high, we get frustrated eventually. Our game plans change. We start to rush things, and I'm speaking from personal experience, and anybody else that has to hit someone that's left-handed with heavy topspin on clay, if they can execute it consistently, which Nadal has done it for 12 French Opens and every other clay tournament since he was 17, but he executes it perfectly. Left hand drawing anyone that hits a backhand, period, but especially the one-handers high into the backhand, if it's a right-handed player. Some left-handed players, they used to give him a problem because it would be equal going back and forth. Verdasco would sometimes give him challenges. Some other clay court players, I think, would have been a better competitor for Nadal in that match. Nadal's a great competitor. He got a set. But honestly, the set that Nadal gave up was like a weird, odd service break at, 5-5 in the second?
I mean, from the first set, Nadal had TM running side to side. I saw Nadal more of a neutral position in the middle where TM was doing a lot of the running and trying to find the angles. And the angles that Nadal found, and even TM responding with great angles, but he was just wasting a lot more energy. I mean, the rallies were 17 plus.
Yeah, it was
17 plus, and you cannot keep that up
unless you are Nadal.
Unless you are Nadal, and Nadal obviously knew how to play him, had a plan, as we saw, kept hitting to his backhand, and TM tried desperately to hit to Nadal's backhand, but it just was too much, and TM just basically disappeared in the third set. It just disappeared completely.
I mean, look, I'm going to make this quick because there's no real reason to explain how good Nadal is on clay, and everybody knows it. Someone will eventually beat him, or he will just retire. But again, when you hit with that much torque and spin off the forehand side, and you hit habitually late, which is really what has made him master this so much better than anybody else over the years, is because
the clay gives you more time.
He hits late, and the way he follows through, he made it work. And it's really tough to defend against.
And I don't think Team
much less to become offensive off of
Well,
it.
Team wasn't serving well as what? I mean, same thing was going on with Djokovic. I mean, Djokovic should have won that match. It should have been a Djokovic-Nadal final.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, TM served first serve percentage, which is extremely important against anybody as a male and female too, but it's less important, I think. You can comment on that if you disagree or agree. Yes, it helped. That's why Serena's won 23 majors, because of her serve. That's why Venus has had so many. Dominic Thiem served at 70% first serves, which isn't terrible. It's not great, but it's okay, so it's a C average. But he only won 58% of his first serve points. So if you're serving at a C average and you count on that, and you're only winning just a little bit better than half of those points, you're subject. It's definitely subject.
I mean, he broke Nadal in the first set and then gets broken back. I think it was like 3-2. Or he breaks at 2-2, 3-2, and then gets broken back. I mean, you cannot do that in men's tennis. I mean, Djokovic was getting broken as well, but Nadal wasn't going to give him that opportunity. I mean, this is a Grand Slam final, and he did want to get closer. I'm sure he wants to get closer to Federer. Do I think he's going to pass him? I hope. I hope not, actually. I want Federer to be 20 slams. I love Nadal.
That's another great question.
I love Nadal. I'm a bigger fan of Nadal than Federer, but I just don't want to see that record passed.
Yeah, that's another question, and that's a great question for everyone. Approaching 20, is it still a long way away for Nadal because he only tends to do it on one surface? Is it still 2 years away, and then maybe
he could win a U.S. Open?
Hurt?
He could win a U.S. Open. He could win a Wimbledon. You never know.
I still think Djokovic could do it in shorter time because
I don't think
I think Rafa has 2 years. I'm not saying either one of them will do it. But I think Djokovic still has the edge on approaching it because Djokovic can win on any surface, and so can Nadal. I love Nadal.
So can Nadal. Justin.
But no, I don't think it's as easily bettable.
No, it's not easy, but he can play on those surfaces.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say that. Again, if you're asking me who had the better chance over the next 3 years to pass Federer and who first.
You really think these guys are going to be playing to 35?
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. But Djokovic, I think, has a little bit more left in the tank, where the other two, I think, a year or two, and I think that's it. And I think Rafa will only win another major or two, if even that. And I think it'll happen on one surface.
Major accomplishment, 12
All right,
surface.
moving forward, we're at 40 minutes, and we're still not even near through this one. This is a closeout show, so we got stuff to announce. By the way, what does it mean for Nadal and Thiem moving forward onto grass? Does both players make it into the second week?
I think Nadal will. I'm not so sure about Thiem.
I will tell you what Thiem's statistics are, at least how far are his best results in majors. He went his best result to the fourth round at the Australian Open in 2017 and 18. He went to the quarterfinals at the U.S. Open in 2018. He went to the fourth round, best result for Wimbledon in 2017. And he's made the finals twice at the French Open, both times losing to Nadal. Respectable, and I think he will make a quarterfinal, but I wouldn't bet on it. I couldn't bet on it. Nadal can get through more people. I do not know, honestly, going into grass, and we'll push forward and retire, by the way, the French Open. It's been a absolutely great tournament. But we all know the results of the third and fourth set. TM was then definitely just trying whatever. I don't think he was exhausted. I think he was just trying to do something. The 7-5 second set, in my opinion, was just a shaky service game in the second set. And other than that, I never at one time watching that match thought that Rodgers bullying TM around the court. He pushed him all over the place, even in the set that he lost. Yeah. Just saying. Kind of like some of those sets Djokovic lost to TM. He should have won them, but just didn't. But unfortunately, there was 3 of those and 1 for Nadal. All right. Moving forward, we're going to push through the end of this show and tell you about a few things we got going on currently. Number 1, there's already a few bets with a handful of viewers that we have going into grass season. So I'm going to announce them real quickly, and we'll add to those as we approach Wimbledon. Number 1, Carla has a bet with Ethan DA that Serena Williams will go farther than Osaka and Wimbledon. Number 2, Carla and I have a bet that Barty will go further than Anisimova at Wimbledon. So she's got Anisimova and Barty, so I think she'll lose 2 bets there. Not with Osaka. She'll win Serena.
I kind of got suckered into that one. But
well, Ethan will lose the bet to you, so you'll win that one. Number 3, fantasy team for a 5K tennis shirt, what left of the YTEX strings and shirts that I have will go out. So 2 sets of strings, overgrips, balls, whatever, but a nice package, in other words, will go out to fantasy teams for Wimbledon. How we do that, we select 2 teams, 1 men's, 1 women's, 8 players. Only 5 of those players on the men's and women's side can be in the top 20. The outside, your 3 other players must be outside of the top 20. We talked about this for the last 5 shows. We'll brush on it more. Don't want to take too much of your time. But that will happen again for Wimbledon. The tennis racket giveaway. Again, no one won it this past tournament. It's a Wilson Burn 100S countervail. My son used it for about 3 months of time. Some light scratches on it. Still basically a new racket, less a few paint chips. And I'll string it freshly for you. And how you win that will be selecting your men's finalists at Wimbledon and your women's finalists at Wimbledon and who you predict will win. And then if you get 3 of the 4 finalists and pick 1 winner, and we had a whole lot of people come really close, and we've given out a couple of them over the years, having done this on an online type fantasy group. So it happens. Oh, and if there is a tie, we will figure it out by like which player that you have, lost the most, or did someone have 4 finalists and 1 winner and only one had 3. So we figure out a tiebreaker, by the way, for the racket. I have a bet announcement for all of you. So I'm asking all of you if you want to bet me. Okay, when we lose bets, we do something humiliating on the show. I've worn a dress. You've painted yourself up with I love Nole and Djokovic stuff. But I am saying that Roger Federer will win Wimbledon. If you don't think he will win Wimbledon and don't want to go through the potential humiliation of being like on a live phone call or something while recording a show and we're talking and be like, check you out and all that stuff, or something, we'll figure out something. But we'll agree on it. It'll be fun-natured, nothing exposed or anything, but fun-natured. If you want to call me out on that, I say Roger Federer will win Wimbledon. And if anyone wants to bet with me, let me know. Let's talk about it. Let Carla know. She'll let me know. And we'll get down. Let's go. Can't wait for Wimbledon. Shoot, I'm going to wear my white shirt for Wimbledon. Can't wait.
Well, we are going to wear all white.
Shoot. Get down. I can't wait. Shoot. I feel sorry if someone bets me against that. All right? By the way, if someone can come up with whoever accumulated the most points on the men's side, the ATP side, throughout the entire clay court season, you'll be better than I am because I can't figure out how to add up every player.
I think it was only 3 people. So Casper, I think Dushan, and I think one more person. So if you guys can figure it out, let me know.
All right, grass court season preview. Here we go, real quick. So Carla and I are going to take about 3 or 4 days off from doing shows. We have to do a string test review that will involve YTEX Pro Tour Blue. Love this string. Finally broke it today after a long time playing with it today, so I was happy about that. But I'm going to restring some more of it up, and we're gonna put a video out of us play testing that string. Takes us a couple of days to put it together, but we will put it here as well. So check out for that. But we should be back doing our first pre-Wimbledon discussion show as we started this show last year, right off the top. Hey, come outside, Carla. No, I don't want to come outside. Come on. Why? Let me smack you with a sandal. No, I don't want to come out there. Don't drag me out there. Come on, Carla, come on. Let me put the camera outside. No, don't.
Okay, come on.
All right. Anyway, so when we do that show, it'll be a 1-year anniversary from when we did our first one.
Yes.
All right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You getting fatigued over there?
Yes, come on.
All right. Oh, okay. So, all right, anyway, I had to catch back up. So we'll do a show every 2 days or so, maybe 3 during the smaller tournaments. And once we get to Wimbledon, then we'll start every day back up. So every 2 or 3 days up until Wimbledon, unless some breaking news happens or something. And then every day, Wimbledon.
Breaking news, Kyrgios will not play Wimbledon.
All right, 12 rapid-fire questions. We're going to move right to the end of the show.
Wait. The women's, Kristina Mladenovic and Timea Babos become #1 in the world by winning the French Open title.
Good for them. And good for Sasha Bajin to now have another, even if he didn't coach her doubles or not, and he's new on her staff. I think it's another thing he can add to his resume. Sasha Bajin, Serena. Sasha Bajin, or at least Serena's hitting partner. Sasha Bajin, Osaka, 2 majors. Oh, now he just jumped on the Mladenovic train. Who is dating Thiem, by the way, and Mladenovic just made the doubles final and won, and Thiem just lost to Nadal in the final at the French. Sure.
Breaking news, Monfils and Svitolina, no more.
Oh!
No more!
Svitolina said I had enough.
That's why Monfils lost.
Monfils, come on, bro.
That's why you lost quickly.
That's all right. They made a cute couple for the brief time, so I'm sure they had some good times, and we wish them both well. All right? Thiem and Mladenovic are still kicking, though, from what it looks like.
Yes.
All right. 12 rapid-fire questions, my favorite part of the show. I love this part. So I'm going to ask Carla and all you 12 questions quickly, and you must answer them quickly. You can't think about it. So if you're going to play along, type as you listen. And if you think about it and look it up or whatever, just go to the next one. Because it's more authentic if we read them and think that you just answered them. All right, Carla, you ready? Mm-hmm. Everybody ready? Do not look at my paper, Carla. You must look at the camera, and you must answer quickly. Okay? Here we go. Ready. Question number 1. Should Novak Djokovic relinquish his position involving the politics of tennis and focus 100% on court tennis if he has any shot of catching 18 majors and especially Roger Federer's 20?
No.
So politics are okay. You don't think politics and...
We can multitask in life.
I think mental anguish takes away from physical training. Okay. All right. I think he should stop that and focus on tennis. Completely. On-court training. Tennis, not politics. Anyway, question number 2. Will anyone in our lifetimes pass Roger Federer's 20 majors?
No.
Question number 3. Is there anyone on the women's tour right now, or any other female player you can think of, currently playing, that could match Serena Williams' 23 majors?
No way.
Oh my gosh, that's a huge number.
No way.
Whew, 23, oh my goodness.
No way.
I wonder who has the most alive now. Kerber, 3? Maybe? That's not alive, but playing.
Playing right
alive.
Now?
That's playing
Venus
on
is still
tour.
playing?
Venus has 6, 7, 8 maybe? Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 4. So much talk about Bianca Andreescu early on this year, yet no talk recently. Do you expect us to talk more about her now that grass season is here?
I expect us to talk about in the U.S. Open about her.
Question number 5. The Golden State Warriors are down 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Will Golden State come back and win this series?
No. I hope not.
Question number 6. Do you believe in aliens or extraterrestrials?
No.
Question number 7. I am a big sneaker and tennis shoe fan. Love shoes a lot. Really like Jordans. I've always been a big Jordan shoe fan. Used to have a whole collection of them stacked on the wall. On a scale of 1 to 10, how great were Rafael Nadal's shoes for this tournament?
10.
Yeah, I'll get down.
I want them.
Go. Grinding in them shoes. Let's get down. Love those. Zipper in the front, back, side to side.
All right, question number whatever.
All right. Question number 8. Do you think the match would have been closer if TM would have jumped less when hitting his one-handed backhand?
No.
Same outcome.
Same outcome.
In other words, TM always jumps when he hits his backhand, which can lead to some unforced error issues. And it did today. He hit 38 unforced errors. And I already mentioned his first serve percentage, 70%, and only won 58% of his first serves. Anyway, but he had 38 unforced errors, a lot of them off that backhand wing. Question number 9. Did I ask you 8?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Question number 9. The grunting level during the TM Nadal match was very high.
Yes, it was.
However, we didn't break out the screech level indicator out of the closet, but should we have?
No. No one comes close to Azarenka.
I thought this match sounded like a lumberjack playing a buffalo. Pretty rough on the grunting level. Should have scored it. It would have rated up there. Yes, it wasn't bad as the squealing Azarenka or the hyperventilating Sharapova.
The squealing pigs.
Question number 10. Will Victoria Azarenka make the second week of Wimbledon?
Yes. Just better chance.
I think she can get the semis there.
Yeah.
Number 11. Name something that you like to eat, that you eat out of a can.
Chicken.
Good answer. I was going to say the same thing, or tuna. Get that protein in. Get some of that 30 grams of protein out of the cans. Get down. Cheaper that way. All right. Question number 12. I get frustrated at home when I come across or find blank.
Shoes all over the place.
That's a good answer. I hate it when she puts toilet paper rolls on the toilet thing, and then the paper's against the wall. I like it when the paper's off the wall so I can grab it. Otherwise, I'm like trying to grab the paper, and my fingernails are like scraping paint to get the paper off the wall. So she's bad at installing paper. Or cabinets open. I don't like cabinets open. And the shoes, yeah, they run third. All right. Bonus questions. Here we go. This is even quicker. Here we go. What was your favorite match of the entire French Open?
Oh, hands down, Wawrinka Tsitsipas, yes.
Question number 2. Do you think for the 5th straight major in a row that Grigor Dimitrov and Stanislav Wawrinka will meet off against one another very early on?
Yes.
Peculiar how that continues to happen.
They just want to eliminate
First
one.
round, second round.
Maybe they don't like Dimitrov. I don't know.
What is going on with that deal? That's like wrong.
That's a wrong deal, yeah.
Question number 3, and to end. Finish this poem. Can you finish this poem? Are you ready? Roses are red and violets are blue.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I love to play tennis, especially when I beat you.
Oh. All right, look, that was kind of unnecessary. Really kind of unnecessary.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Here's,
I just beat him.
I wrote one in, so I thought about this. It didn't take me but a second, but I put roses are red, violets are blue. I was a nothing until I met you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Now you made me feel bad.
Get down.
I
She squashed me, hit me with a sandal verbally. I gave her some love.
Ouch.
All right, closing out the show, kind of like our quick trophy presentation speech. Carla, anybody you want to thank for keeping you up to speed for the majority of this entire
I want to
tournament?
thank everybody, especially those who kept in contact with me. First, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk anymore.
See? Come on.
YTEX, of course, for helping us with the prize.
Always.
But I want to thank Rahesh, Wayne Chia, Ethan D.A., B-Dog, Sister to Queen, Curling Tennis, Carteri, Casper,
Simo Zamanovich.
Michael Figgins, a wild live one because you guys kept every day with me. WTA Fan 12, Arthur Otsaka, Flora More Open, David Toto, Stephen Lillick, Pravirin Daisy, Danielle Machado, Sean Bataju, Dujan Dramovic, Mari Princeton, Millennium 13, Furzio 9, Cess for Life, Peter Dixtria, Adam West, Glenn Sindel, Original 1, Norwell Music, Yuri Ross, Don X, Henny Harper, Alexan Daya, Kenneth Chow, Wilson Fisk, Ignoramus, which is a cool name by the way, Matt
Ignoramus, that's Ignoramus.
Matt Kane, Mandy Burkia, Jalen Brown, Monda Cantables, and Lena Weidman. These are most of the people that make comments at the French Open. They're always interacting with us, giving their opinions, and answering the questions, your 12 rapid questions. So thank you very much.
Look, Jalen Brown made me laugh one morning getting out of bed. Like I read he was going to eat a roll of cat gut string or something, and I died laughing. So a lot of props on that one. That one was hilarious. B-Dog02, what's up, bro?
And of course, thank you. I mean, I did say YTEX, but Ivor Savage.
Yeah, the owner of YTEX Strings. Look, thank you, obviously, to YTEX for this major. Ivor Savage, the owner
Ivor is the right way to
South
say it.
African, really good tennis player, really good coach. Gave us some stuff to give out. It will continue for Wimbledon. So again, the racket is from Carla and I, and anything that comes from YTEX is from Ivor. And he's very nice.
Check them out. Check them out. If you play tennis and you're interested in strings or power, check them out.
So I give at the end of the day a big thanks to anyone that takes a second to allow us to share our passion and joy for the game of tennis with you. That's what it's about. Everything that we do is about the audience. I think any stadium fills up, and the owners of the stadium have to thank the fans, because if it wasn't for the fans, there would be no stadium. Obviously, we don't have a stadium. We got a table set up in our den.
This is our stadium with the roof. The roof, French Open. We got a roof.
Yeah, but nonetheless, it's our stadium. But if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't do it. So it wouldn't exist. So thank you for allowing us to exist. I'm going to end the show with a quote and thought of the day, and we're going to end it. And I'll make it quick. This quote, as usual, we come up with a quote or a thought and mention it at the end to do what you wish with. This comes from Joe Namath, and if you don't know who that is, it's a Hall of Fame quarterback that won a Super Bowl with the New York Jets. Broadway Joe, he actually predicted this. He said at the beginning of the year, I'll win a Super Bowl, and lo and behold, he did. Anyway, some luck involved in that statement. Anyway, here's his quote, okay? When you have confidence, you can have a lot of fun. And when you have fun, you can do amazing things. I think it's a really good comment. Again, I'll read it. When you have confidence, you can have a lot of fun. And when you have fun, you can do amazing things. I love the quote. However, I think it misses one key point. How do we attain confidence? Practice. We practice at things, we gain confidence. When we get confidence, we are able to, in this sense, being a quarterback, and in life in general, we can do amazing things or win championships. I don't think you can have confidence in life no matter what it is. With girls, I had to have confidence to go talk to this thing. I was like, what's up? Get down. Had to have that swag. You know what I'm saying? Roses are red, violets are blue. Had to have that confidence. But, I had a lot of practice. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I'm kidding. Totally joking. But you have to have confidence, especially in tennis. You just do. You have to practice. Just like Joe Namath, when he made this statement, he was a practiced and veteran quarterback, right? She's looking at me crazy. I was just kidding. Totally kidding. But I think it's a great quote. You have to, in order to have confidence, or to have fun, at least in sports, you want to win. And it's hard to win without confidence. But how do we attain confidence? I think there's a building block missing there. Practice dictates everything. Disagree or agree? All right.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Look, I'm spent. We've been on the court forever. I'm out. Great show. Great season. I look forward to next year's French Open. And that's it.
I can't wait for Wimbledon.
See you guys later.
Come on, Federer 21.
That's it. Thank you, Carla, for going 14 days in a row nonstop. Thanks so much to all of you. Much love to all of you. Let's go. You want to do the Djokovic thing? You ready? Give me 3 before the time runs out. You ready?
I don't think he'll do any more of that.
Mwah.
And thank you to Chris for being our camera guy.
Yeah, I should spin it around, but He won't like that. Anyway, Chris, you want to shout out? Want to put your head in the camera? He's a good kid. Anyway, like the video, share our video, subscribe to our channel. Much love to all of you. And as Carla always says,
Au revoir.
Adios.
Cats agree.